Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I am here with my bestie, Jessica.
And do you have anybody else there?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. Okay, so what's today's video, Mandy?
We were talking about stalkers. And speaking of stalkers.
Oh, yeah, he's a vicious stalker, all right.
Mr. Goose wanted to say hi.
Hi, Mr. Goose.
I think that he's wanting to take a nap, but he's here to say hi during the stalker
got him
video.
one of those masks with the glowing X's on the eyes. No, he's so cute. Hey, buddy. Yeah, he's in his toddler era right now. So, okay, so we're going to talk all about stalkers today.
Yes.
Okay. But before we start with that,
he's a 10. He's a stalker.
He is. He is.
All right. Well, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We really, really appreciate it. And if you didn't already know, and we promise we won't like spam all of our videos with this, but we just want to make sure everybody knows that we are going to be giving away a coveted cover of the first box, which you can't get anymore. So the Catherine Welcher books when we reach 3,000. So definitely want in on that. Yes. And there is a short if you want to go check that out so you can see those books a little bit closer. Yeah, we're very excited to be doing that.
Very excited.
Yay 3,000.
Yay 3,000. Okay, so
so wild.
I know, just to even think about. Yeah. So let's talk about stalkers. When we brought this up as an idea, because we haven't done this one for a very long time, I was like, yeah, I should have like a ton. Like, that's right up my alley. But I was surprised that I didn't have as many as I thought I did.
I have a stalker.
No, you have a sleepy baby. That's what you have.
No, he stalks me.
He does. He follows you.
Especially when there's noises in the kitchen.
Yeah, because he thinks he's going to get a treat.
Supersonic hearing right here.
Yeah, exactly. Like my kids when they think I'm cooking. All right. Well, let's get started with the Rex. So the first, but he's going to go to sleep. Just sit there and rock him. It'll be cool.
Rockabye stalker.
Okay. The first book that I have to talk about is one I talked about a couple of times. We're going to talk about it again. And that is Cheater by D.D. Prince. I think a lot of people avoid this book because the title is Cheater and they think it's a cheating book, which, I mean, you know, it kind of is, but it's not in that way. So this is about Chloe and Derek. So at the beginning of this book, Chloe is with her boyfriend. He has been in an accident about 6 months later and has now he is a paraplegic and he cannot no longer perform, or she doesn't think he can perform. He could if he really put his mind to it, but he's kind of lost in his feelings and emotions of after what he's gone through, and he just really doesn't want to put forth the work. And so he decides that he's going to give her a hall pass instead. And there are certain rules, like she can go out and she can have sex with these people, but she can't bring them back to the house. It can't be anybody that they know. It can only be one time. And she is very upset about this, and she's like, absolutely not. I will not do this. I am in this for the long haul with you. And after about a month or so, he finally convinces her to use it. And that's where she meets a guy at a club. They end up having a one-night stand, so she thinks. But that is where she meets Derek. And Derek becomes obsessed with Chloe. From the minute he meets her, he starts stalking her. He eventually forces their relationship to end in a certain way, and he eventually forces her to move in and then marry him. And he uses blackmail to do that. It is so incredibly good. And I know that it says cheater, but we know what's happening. So it's not necessarily a cheating situation, kind of. Anyhow, loved it. Check it out. He's the best kind of stalker.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. My first stalker's name is Cash.
All right. Well, tell us about Cash.
So this is Make Me by Summer O'Toole. And so we have Harlow, whose best friend is murdered. Yeah.
That's right.
In front of her.
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
And the police believe that there's a serial killer on the loose, and she does not feel like they are doing enough to catch him. And the guy had a very distinct tattoo, and so she believes she knows who it is, and that would be Cash, who is the head of the Fox family crime syndicate, or one of the heads of it. And so she decides to stalk him and try and find out more about him and prove that he is guilty. But what she doesn't know is he's also stalking her. Dun, dun, dun. So this is a wild ride, like wild, wild ride. I absolutely loved it so much.
Stalking books are fun.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the next book I have is one that pretty much put Caitlin Taylor on the map, and that is Graves. I read this earlier, like in early 2023, and I'm 2024. Sorry, 2024. Couldn't remember what year we're in. And I really enjoyed it. So this is the story of Blake, and this is an MFM. So you have Zayden and Dominic are our, I guess we're gonna call them anti-heroes. So Zayden and Dominic are identical twin brothers. And Zayden is a little unhinged. Dominic kind of keeps him reined in. They're both hired hitmen. And so one day, Zayden sees Blake and becomes instantly obsessed over her. He starts stalking her. He imagines they have a relationship together. Like, he's lost it, and she's in the middle of all of it, and she doesn't even realize it. And one night, he follows her home from work, as you do when you're one stalker. And he sees somebody else stalking the girl that he's stalking. And so he attacks that person, and he goes to prison for that. And then in the meantime, he asks his brother to please keep an eye on Blake until he can get out. And I think he's put in prison for like years, like 10 plus years. But after about a year or so, he breaks out of prison, and he comes back to find out that his brother isn't just watching over his girl, or what he thinks is his girl. His brother has fallen in love with her, and they're dating, and it's a thing. So, have you read that one yet?
Mm-mm. It's sitting on my shelf.
Yeah. Okay.
So my next one is part of the Lovely Broken Doll trilogy. Or, well, I mean, you kind of have to read the trilogy, but the first book is called Hunting Pretty, and this is by Sienna Blake. So we have Ava. Ava was adopted when she was 13, and she cannot remember her life prior to that. And she's taken in by like a very rich, wealthy woman who takes care of her, but something just feels off, I guess you could say. So she is now, I wasn't quite 100% clear on the timeline. I think that she's now in college, that they're at college, or it might be like their senior year in high school or something, but this takes place over in Ireland. So their schooling system is a little bit different than ours. So anyways, she has a stalker, but she also has another stalker. So like she's got two stalkers. So it's a little confusing at times, but her stalker comes into her bedroom at night and she lets him do things with her, and she finds it very hot. Well, she is investigating her best friend's, or one of her very close friends' disappearance, and her stalker does not like this, and so he tries to get her to back off. But she does not realize that there's also a second stalker that is up to no good. So this is a wild ride, and I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to give any spoilers away. I think anytime though that you get stalkery situations, like they can be a wild ride where you can't really detail a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So my next read is The Pucking Coach's Daughter by S. Massery. So this is a hockey waichus, and it is about Sydney. She's in college, and she's going to a neighboring college, to the one where her father is the hockey coach. So she doesn't go to her dad's college; she goes to the one down the road, because she likes to keep distance between her and her dad. And when the book starts, we find out that she is at the house of the guy who is on her dad's team. He's the captain of the team. And she breaks into his house to steal the playbook. or she breaks in the house to steal something else that he has of hers. And she ends up almost getting caught. And in the meantime, she finds the playbook and uses that as leverage. And she ends up giving the playbook or the plays to her on again, off again boyfriend who goes to the same college that she does. So they're rival teams. And that ends up costing these guys the huge championship because her dad's team, like they know her dad's team's plays. And so then we fast forward to the next year. She has been kicked out of college because there, that is a no-no. There was like a clause in her stuff saying, what do they call that? The clauses. Yeah, she's not supposed to do that kind of stuff.
Code of conduct.
Yes, it was in her code of conduct. So she lost her scholarship. So now she's going to have to go to her dad's college. And so when she's there, that is where she meets some of the guys, 3 guys, Oliver, Penn, and Connor. They are on her dad's hockey team. They are livid with her for what she's done. They're very cruel to her, but they might also be attracted to her. And so she's dealing with all of this bullying at the college now that she's there, but she's also dealing with the fact that she has a stalker. And that is like a whole side plot. That is something else that is going on there. So she's got guys being an asshole. She really deserves it because she was the first asshole. But then there really is one following her around. Mm-hmm. There was a lot to that. It's hard to explain it without feeling all tongue-tied. Okay. Next.
Well, my next stalker is Blackheart by Keltley Allison. Ketley? I might have said that wrong. Sorry. So Layla is our heroine in this book. And she is working at her job when she starts to overhear some things that she probably should not know. And this puts her life in danger. And our hero, Stalker, is hired to kill her. So to eliminate the situation. So he begins stalking her. He puts cameras in her house and all of this. And he then realizes that she could lead him to the guy that he has been trying to find, that he himself has been hunting. And so he begins to use her as bait for that. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
I am being really quick with my recs. I'm sorry.
Same. I've been having to mute myself too because I have my window cracked and the neighbors have their dogs out and they're very yippy. So I'm hoping it's not picking them up, but I'm pretty sure it is. So anyhow, like that. Okay. Well, so my next rec is Debt by Nina G. Jones. I loved this one. So this is about Mia and Tax. Mia. Okay, so Mia works at a sex toy factory, first of all. I mean, like, let's just get that out there in the open. She works at a sex toy factory, but she's having dinner or having drinks with a friend of hers one night, and she finds out that her friend came across a site where you can have your fantasies fulfilled, and that it includes, rape fantasies. And so it's like one of those things where you have to know somebody who knows somebody to get in to have this done. And so her friend gives her a business card and says, if you want to get that fantasy of yours fulfilled one day, like, here it is. Like, I'm giving you the referral so you can do it. So one drunken night, she puts in the order for the guy. And the way it works is like, the guy will come to you give him a time frame, like certain days and times that work for you. And he will show up during one of them, but you don't know when he's actually going to show up. So you're not 100% sure. Like, you describe what you like in a guy and you describe what you're looking for, but it's not like he comes and knocks on the door and is like, hi, I'm here to fulfill your fantasy kind of a thing. He just shows up because that makes the fantasy. And so one night she's at home, some guy breaks in fully masked, and they, he attacks her and they get down and dirty. And then the next day she goes to work and finds out that because she lifts his mask a little bit and sees that he has snake tattoos on his neck. She goes to work. Her job has been sold or her company's been sold, and she's getting a promotion, and she walks in and lo and behold, the new owner has these tattoos on his neck, and he's not the guy from the place that was hired on. But he's also out for revenge, and he has been stalking her for a very, very long time and watching her. So there's reasons. It is so good. I've only ever read 2 Nina G. Joneses. They're both very dark, but they're both so good.
Okay. So my next book is probably my favorite stalker romance ever. And our heroine is the stalker. And this is not a dark romance
No.
either. Well, thank you for switching me over. Let me grab my
I
book.
had a little tickle. I had to cough, but I didn't want to do it on the thing.
Okay, so we have All My Love by Daisy Jane. So we have Dolly. Dolly is our heroine. Dolly is in love with her neighbor Hudson, and she's been in love with him for several years. He moves in next door to her, and she just falls for him. But he has a wife, and then his wife has a baby, and she leaves him and their fairly new son. Like she leaves pretty quick after he's born and just leaves. So at this time, Bear is now about 4 years old, and Holly, oh my gosh, Dolly has really taken to Bear and she loves him, but she will not use her relationship with him to advance her relationship with Hudson. She's like waiting for Hudson basically to realize that she is everything that he has ever needed. And so she has just turned 20, so she's no longer a teenager, so she is ready for him to accept that she loves him. And she has been doing everything in her power to make sure that she is ready for him. So she stalks him, she follows him, she sneaks into his house, she like does things to his toothbrush and his dishes. Like she is all in, and it is all research purposes so that when he realizes they are soulmates, that she can best be there for him. She is unhinged in like the best way. I absolutely love this one so much. The story is amazing. There are some kinks in it because it's Daisy Jane, but she puts just the right amount in there without it taking away from the plot. Like, oh, phenomenal. Highly recommend.
Okay. All right, so for my last one, I'm not going to talk about the stalking because it'll give away things, but I'm just going to tell you that there is stalking in it, so just trust me. And that is Brutal Husband by Lilith Vincent. The audio for this one is close to coming out. I think it's coming really, really soon. So if you're waiting for the audio, it is coming. She made an announcement the other day in her Patreon group. So this is about Rita and Nero. So Rita has been, so basically she's being forced into a marriage by her mom is forcing her into this marriage alliance, and that is where Nero comes in. When she first meets Nero, he is when she knows of him, she knows that he's cold and aloof, especially in public, but when they meet, they have a great night out, and he's not so cold, he's actually kind of fun. And then they meet up for the engagement party, and he's this dick. He's just cold and very, short with her. And then the next time they see each other, he's warm again. And it's this light switch like being turned off and on all the time. And she doesn't know why. Like, why does he treat her one way and then treat her the next some other time? Especially public versus alone. And then we see that they get married. And for the first year of their marriage, she goes like spirals into this depression because he is like horrible to her. And then one day he's just gone and missing, and she has no clue where he went and what's going to happen. And things go a little crazy when he shows back up. So that's all I can really say because I'll give away too much. But oh my gosh, I loved this one so much. And yes, you can read it as a standalone. Okay, what's your last pick?
Okay, my last one is Devil's Thirst by Jill Ramsauer. So we have Amelie, and Amelie and Sante actually meet 4 years prior to this, and he kind of becomes obsessed with Amelie. And she is a dancer, and so he watches her dance. He makes it so he can move in next door to her, and he just stalks the hell out of her, basically, and inserts himself into her life. Sorry.
It's okay.
He inserts himself into her life and makes sure that he's like always there when she needs him. And she's aware that like something is going on. She just doesn't realize it's him, but she has secrets that terrify her and she doesn't want him to know, but he wants to like take care of her. So this is like total alpha obsessed, like, stalker in a good way because he's just making sure that he's where he needs to be when she needs him.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this one. I rated it 4 stars. It was really, really good. I know we
Okay.
normally don't say ratings. I don't know why I did. I don't feel good.
Because you're
I'm so
used to it.
sorry.
Because we say it. We just did our 1 minute book recs a few minutes ago. So that's
Maybe
fine.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. So there's 10 stalkers for your heart to pitter patter
Valentine's
after.
Day pleasure.
Yeah. There's your Valentine stalkers.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Wrap her up.
All right. Well, make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us. Hit that notification button, and we would love it if you'd give this video a like and leave us a comment below.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up.
Jessica's done with us.
Let's move on to the next one. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.